isolated manner, frankly, because they are so egregious. They represent a tremendous threat to our national security. And I think that they are allegations that we need to deal with fully. And that was the purpose of our op-ed.
And Representative A.J. Craig, like Representative Spanberger, you are from a district that was a Republican district. You flipped it. You both flipped your districts for the Democrats. You are the kind of member of the House, you're both the kinds of member of the House that the impression has been Nancy Pelosi has been protecting you by not letting impeachment be formalized in the House of Representatives, because for representatives in swing districts like yours, that could be politically difficult. You've come out in favor of impeachment also because of this incident. Why was this your final straw?
Well, the Speaker has given us the freedom to do what we think is right for our own congressional districts. And I've been listening to the folks in my district over the last several months. I've wanted to be disciplined. I've wanted to listen to the facts and use due process. But the facts changed on Sunday. The facts are so crystal clear. The president, ironically, is the one who shared them with us. The fact that he pressured a foreign government to interfere with a political rival for the benefit of his own election in 2020. And the fact that those funds to Ukraine were being withheld in advance of that. This isolated incident alone was enough for me to say, we have to put this country over our politics, and I hope that many of my Republican colleagues will join me in doing that.
Congressman Lujan, we have reports now that President Trump is going to release a transcript of the phone call, and that the administration will eventually, possibly this week, by the end of the week, release the actual Inspector General's report of the whistleblower's report. What is your reaction to? We still don't know exactly what these things will look like when they're released, whether they'll be heavily redacted, or what these documents are actually going to be when they're released. But that is the developing situation as it is tonight.
Well, Lauren, it's absolutely essential that the full report that was made available by the whistleblower, as reported from the Inspector General to the Director of National Intelligence, be released to the chairs of the Intelligence Committee. Not only is it essential, it's the law. The law requires for that report to be turned over. So I don't know what the president plans to do with turning over transcripts. I think it's absolutely incumbent that we get word for word everything that we can get our hands on. But what is actually expected, as the law requires, is for the whistleblower's report to be turned over, and that should be turned over no later than Thursday. It should be turned over now.
And Representative Spanberger, this
Super 6-9
tonight, the breaking news reporting about the strains inside the Trump administration with Rudy Giuliani basically having this portfolio to argue this case, to lobby, to try to influence Ukraine to investigate Joe Biden's son. And the State Department was upset about this. John Bolton was upset about this. And that apparently these tensions are part of what is delivering some of the inside the administration sourcing that the news media is working with.
So the tensions that you mentioned, I think, are easily definable. They are the tensions that exist between those who are working potentially to uphold the law and those who are looking to abuse their position. The fact that there would be State Department officers uncomfortable with the type of actions that Rudy Giuliani was allegedly taking, I think is absolutely what I would expect of our career diplomats who are focused on the mission of advocating for American interests abroad, protecting American interests abroad, and anyone who's sworn an oath to uphold the Constitution.
And Representative Craig, also in the Washington Post tonight, they are indicating that Rudy Giuliani was off on his own in a way that they were trying to, the way they were trying to figure out what he was doing was actually by reading newspapers and watching TV of Rudy Giuliani's statements about what his involvement in Ukraine might be. They had no way within the administration, apparently, of finding out what it was.
Well, this gets to the heart of the issue with the president, and that is he has put his own personal interest by nature of putting his personal attorney in the middle of all of this. And that's exactly why we couldn't stand on the sidelines and allow this behavior to continue by the president and his personal attorney.
Congressman Lujan, the Senate unanimous consent agreement today, I think, was a surprise to everyone that the Senate went on record unanimously saying that the whistleblower complaint should be delivered to the intelligence committees immediately. House Representatives, there's indications from the leadership that you might vote on something similar tomorrow.
That's correct. We're expecting to vote on something similar tomorrow. But here's the thing as well, Lawrence, is while I appreciate the urgency that Leader McConnell listened to the direction of Leader Schumer to bring that resolution to the Senate floor, and every Republican voted there in favor, as well as every Democrat, the silence of House Democrats is deafening. That no one is coming forward to talk about the concern associated with the fact that the law is being broken. The Director of National Intelligence refuses to comply with the law. And I think that's why there is such urgency to bring this resolution forward and to continue to make progress. And I certainly hope my House Republican colleagues have the courage of the Senate Republicans to do what's right, to demand that this report be turned over immediately.
Congressman Beto Lujan, Congresswoman Abigail Spanberger, and Congresswoman Angie Craig, thank you all for starting us off tonight. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Well, as we say, things went badly for the president in the Democratic-controlled House of Representatives with the Speaker's announcement of a formal impeachment inquiry today, but they went just as badly for the president today in the Republican-controlled United States Senate, where Mitch McConnell agreed to Democratic leader Chuck Schumer's request for unanimous consent for a resolution saying that the whistleblower complaint should be provided to the House and Senate Intelligence Committees.
Madam President, as if in legislative session, I ask unanimous consent that the Senate proceed to the immediate consideration of S Resolution 325, introduced by Mr. Schumer and submitted earlier today.
Stipulating that our objective here is simply to conduct the kind of bipartisan oversight of intelligence matters that the committee has successfully conducted in the past. I have no objection to the senator's request.
During our discussion now is Senator Kamala Harris. She is a member of both the Senate Judiciary Committee and the Senate Intelligence Committee. She's also now a Democratic candidate for president. Senator, thank you very much for joining us tonight.
All right,
please explain to us what Mitch McConnell is up to there today, actually agreeing to unanimous consent with Chuck Schumer.
Well, Lawrence, as you said, I serve on the Senate Intelligence Committee, and I must tell you, there is something special actually about that committee in that specifically no televisions, no reporters, no cell phones. And what ends up happening in my opinion is that members of the United States Senate walk in that door and really do put country first and understand for the most part what we all should appreciate, which is that on matters of national security, the approach should not even be bipartisan, it should be nonpartisan. And I'd like to think that is what motivated Mitch McConnell. But I think ultimately it is because at least the members of the Senate Intelligence Committee thus far have conducted themselves in a way that recognizes that we need to get to the bottom of something like this. This is literally a matter of national security.
Now, if the Inspector General's report is referred and delivered directly to your committee, both of the intelligence committees, does that mean that those committees must hold that report and it cannot be made public because it's in the custody of the intelligence committees?
Well, if it contains classified information, then that is correct. But I'll know better when we have the hearing on Thursday. But if there is information that is in the report that is not classified and has been deemed to not be classified, then absolutely it should be shared with the American public.
A lot of letters flying around Washington today from the whistleblower's lawyer, the DNI's counsel, and now Chairman Berg, your committee, and Senator Warner have written a bipartisan letter to the whistleblower's lawyer saying we are ready to request that you make your client available for a closed bipartisan interview with committee this week. So that would be an interview with committee counsel as the first thing that they would like to do. Do you think that is likely to happen? It's a very fast-moving week, but by the end of this week, do you think that this whistleblower will be speaking to the intelligence committees of the House and the Senate?
Well, from all accounts, the whistleblower, she or he, wants to participate. And again, I think that we should all be heartened to know that the Republican chairman, the Democratic co-chairman of the Senate Intelligence Committee are joined in this request, understanding again, Lawrence, look what we're talking about. The President of the United States has confessed that he is attempting to collude with a foreign government to yet again manipulate the elections process of our country, and in particular the election of who will be the next president of the United States. And I'll tell you, Donald Trump is probably the least patriotic of any president we've ever had. And there should be, and I'm very heartened to see that there is a bipartisan approach to this issue, an issue of concern, and frankly, an issue of outrage, which is the President of the United States engaging in this kind of conduct. Clearly, Donald Trump does not understand that his responsibility as president is also as commander-in-chief. But repeatedly, we have seen Donald Trump as a so-called commander-in-chief, because I don't think he really fully understands the job. He takes the word of the Russian president over the word of the American intelligence community. He takes the word of a North Korean dictator over the word of the American intelligence community. He takes the word of a Saudi prince over the word of the American intelligence community. And I'm, again, heartened to see that leaders in the United States Senate who serve on the Senate Intelligence Committee are approaching this with a bipartisan spirit, understanding, again, that fundamentally this is about America's national security.
Speaker Pelosi repeatedly today in her statement used the phrase violation of law. She said that that's a violation of law. She was referring specifically to the conduct of Acting Director of National Intelligence McGuire. Do you agree that he violated the law?
Well, what I do believe is that there are many members of this administration, starting with the president, who believes that he is above the law. And no one in our system of democracy and our system of justice is above the law, including the President of the United States. And there must be accountability and consequence for behaviors that are clearly against the law. And that includes for the president. I applaud Speaker Pelosi for indicating today that impeachment proceedings will begin. The American people have a right to know that the branch of government that exists to put a check on an abuse of power by the executive, that the United States Congress, that we are prepared to take action to require accountability and consequence for the abuse of power by this president.
What is the proper accountability for an acting director of national intelligence who refuses to comply with the law? It's not the president who's holding on to that Inspector General's report. It is Director McGuire who's holding on to it.
Well, I'll know better after Thursday's hearing, but there is no question that the acting director is violating his responsibility to give account to the United States Congress. We have a very specific and important role of oversight, and any request made by the United States Congress, in particular the intelligence committees of the House or the Senate, must be complied with by the Director of National Intelligence. And again, we have yet another appointee of Donald Trump's who thinks that their power is greater than that of the United States Congress, and there should be consequence, and we'll see what that is.
What would you say to not just this whistleblower who may be watching you right now, but any other possible whistleblowers who are watching the experience of this whistleblower? Should they be frightened by what's happening to this whistleblower, or encouraged at the light that is coming in the direction of this whistleblower?
What I would say to them is that you are a true patriot, that you are demonstrating an extraordinary amount of courage to stand up for the integrity of our democracy, and that the United States Congress stands behind you and with you. And as demonstrated again by the fact that there is a bipartisan push to give support and to give respect to the words and the information that the whistleblower has. And so I think that this should be actually a very clear signal that all are welcome who have information that may be relevant to our nation's security, and that they really should be compelled and feel a sense of patriotic duty to come forward. Because of course the stakes are very high when we're talking about the President of the United States colluding with a foreign government leader against our democracy. And Lawrence, I can't say it enough. Donald Trump doesn't understand. That's not his White House, it's our White House. It's the people's house. And any act that he takes that is against the interest of the people of the United States must be aired. There must be transparency around it, and he must be held accountable.
There's a foreign policy issue at the base of this story that is getting largely ignored as we talk about the other elements of it. But what should be our policy toward Ukraine at this moment in their history?
Well, there's a lot there. I mean, what we need to do is obviously, first of all, deal with the fact that the president should not be bargaining what otherwise would be aid in exchange for action that helps him politically. We should follow through with our commitment as a country to Ukraine around what they need in terms of humanitarian aid and assistance, what they need in terms of fighting for democracy and for the sovereignty that they deserve. And as we go forward, we're going to have to obviously probably repair relationships around the globe in terms of what this president has done, which is to suggest that our relationships with any foreign nation are transactional based on what that nation can do for the best political interest of the president of the United States.
Senator Kamala Harris, thank you very much for joining us on this important topic. Really
Thank you, Lawrence. Thank you.
And when we come back, presidential candidate Cory Booker will join us. He is a member of the Senate Foreign Relations Committee. That committee is investigating the hold the Trump administration put on financial aid to Ukraine. Senator Cory Booker joins us next.
I get it all the time. Have you lost weight? Of course I have. Ever since I started renting from National. Because National lets me lose the weight at the counter and choose any car in the aisle. I don't wait when I return thanks to Drop and Go. At National, I can lose the weight and keep it off. Looking good, Patrick! I know. Go National. Go like a pro.
How do these other OTC medicines compare to Zysol? Well, looky here. Zysol works faster than Claritin and lasts for 6 times longer than Benadryl. So for the latest and powerful relief that's just as effective in hour 24 as in hour 1, be wise all. Take Zysol.
I found you.
Hey.
Go home. So long ago.
Joe. Sorry, we're not gonna get
On an endless road.
Come on, let's go.
I found you.
After 10 years, we've covered a lot of miles. Good thing I got a Subaru.
Looks like you got out of
No. Sit.
Love is out there. Find it in a Subaru
Good.
Crosstrek.
Sit.
My body is truly powerful. I have the power to lower my blood sugar and A1C because I can still make my own insulin. And Trulicity activates my body to release it like it's supposed to. Trulicity is for people with type 2 diabetes. It's not insulin. I take it once a week. It starts acting in my body from the first dose.
Trulicity isn't for people with type 1 diabetes or diabetic ketoacidosis. Don't take Trulicity if you're allergic to it, you or your family have medullary thyroid cancer, or have multiple endocrine neoplasia syndrome type 2. Stop Trulicity and call your doctor right away if you have an allergic reaction, a lump or swelling in your neck, or severe stomach pain. Serious side effects may include pancreatitis. Taking Trulicity with sulfonylurea or insulin increases the blood sugar risk. Side effects include nausea, diarrhea, vomiting, belly pain, and decreased appetite, which lead to dehydration and may worsen kidney problems.
I have it within me to lower my A1C.
Ask your doctor about Trulicity.
Good on you. Sporting look moves without stretching your wall. Now being comfortable is even easier. With sport coats starting at $99.99, mix and match shirts and pants 3 for $99.99, plus get 60% off designer suits. Only at Men's Warehouse.
Plan to capture CO2. What if other kinds of plants captured it too? If these industrial plants had technology that captured carbon like trees, we could have lower emissions. Carbon capture is important technology, and experts agree. That's why we're working on ways to improve it, so plants can be a little more like plants.
When a car hit me, I called Celino and Barnes. They got me $6 million, 24 times the insurance offer.
What's your case really worth? Call now and find out.
Spectrum.net has a new look with clean and simple navigation designed for your convenience. Log in at Spectrum.net to check the status of your account, activate or troubleshoot equipment, pay your bill, and throw on equipment. With personalized support geared toward the products and services you have, it's easy to find the answers you want. All the resources you need to manage your account are in one place. Visit the newly designed, easier to use Spectrum.net today.
I called Celino and Barnes when I was hit on my motorcycle. They got me $5 million, 5 times what insurance said they'd pay.
What's your case really worth? Call now and find out.
Today, all 10 Democrats on the Senate Judiciary Committee called on Republican Chairman Lindsey Graham to obtain and investigate the whistleblower report and hold a hearing with Attorney General William Barr. In a letter today, the senators wrote, "We have a constitutional responsibility to determine the reasons for the whistleblower's report and why it is being withheld from Congress. We therefore ask that you convene hearings to address the facts underlying the whistleblower's report, the administration's refusal to provide that report to Congress in contravention of the law, and any legal advice provided by the Department of Justice or the White House counsel on these matters." And joining us now is one of the co-signers of that letter, Democratic Senator Cory Booker, a member of the Senate Judiciary Committee and the Senate Foreign Relations Committee. Senator Booker is also a Democratic candidate for president. Senator, thank you very much for joining us.
Lawrence, it's good to be here.
This goes to the question of what did William Barr do in this process. The law provides no moment at which the Director of National Intelligence should consult the Justice Department about what to do. And yet that happened.
The law is very clear. They use the word that is, we know in Congress very well. It's the word not may, it is shall. Nancy Pelosi was 100% right tonight when she said they did not abide by the law. This is clear. Congress should be in possession of that report. And those who have not done it, to me, acted not only in contrary to the law, but given the subject matter here, this is a moment where all of us as Americans, even those of us who feel injured by Donald Trump, want to be on this, is we need to take a sober pause and understand that this must be seen through the lens of patriotism and what is at stake for our country right now. I visited Ukraine as a member of the Foreign Relations Committee. I've met with their soldiers who are relying on the aid of this country, who are in the Donbass region in eastern Ukraine, who are under attack by the Russians who had already annexed Crimea. This is a hot war going on in Europe, where there are specific American interests in that region. And to understand the gravity of what the Russians are doing, not just to Ukraine, but talk to Latvians, Estonians, Lithuanians, talked to them yesterday when I was in Poland visiting with our military officials who called it a hybrid war we're in right now, with the Russians working, whether it's the high aspects of the Donbass region of Ukraine, or the last time in the Senate I went into the bunker we have to read intelligence reports about what the Russians are doing to interfere with our democracy right now. They are actively attacking the United States. Congress is working in a bipartisan manner to get the critical resources that I saw with my own eyes, heard from generals in the field, that they need to defend themselves, to protect their lives, to serve an American interest. This is a president of the United States, forget partisan party, a president of the United States, which was holding.
Shut up!
The bipartisan Congress.
Don't do that. I'm doing something.
Not for any national security reason, but for a petty political attempt to yet again undermine America's elections. This is a serious that we must be dealt in a patriotic, bipartisan manner. It's acceptable.
Why did Mitch McConnell go along with this your consent request?
I'm not sure.
What?
And I stopped for with Chuck Schumer from the Senate consent before and object. And I can imagine a moment where someone comes to the floor and objects to the Senate having access to a report that the law says that you have. It kind of puts you on difficult footing. I'm not sure if all the Republicans, and clearly what we're seeing now in the Senate Intelligence Committee, that there are many Republicans that agree we should have this report. So the more I think about it, the more I understand that this was perhaps the right thing for Mitch McConnell to do for a number of the people that are part of that man's calculus.
Also be part of the presidential campaign in the following way. Mitch McConnell knows this is eventually coming up. It cannot be stopped. The sooner it comes out from Mitch McConnell, the better, because a year in the middle of the Republican convention, he doesn't want his nominee with something like this then. That gives him time to make a plan for a different nominee if he has to. You know, Mitch McConnell is definitely one of those people, you know, in the Senate is playing three-dimensional chess. And I'm sure that there's listen for me not thinking like this because I'm not a politician, I am, and we should sit understanding that we will be judged by what we do when a United States president was betraying his office, betraying Congress, betraying the national security interests of this country to yet pursue attacks on a political opponent. It's very true. You're in a very bad moment. You should be clear enough to let patriotism be today, not partisanship. Has the president, in effect, confessed now publicly to high crime when he said today, when he talked about, I will withhold again, meaning I did withhold?
Yeah, I mean, to me, it just seemed another moment that is consistent with his past of reckless defiance of our laws and our norms. Starting back when he was in the campaign, where he said, hey, Russians, if you're listening, you know, investigate, get the emails, which is exactly the criminal activity that went on and stealing the emails of Secretary Clinton. So this is not out of character with him. And I think, again, this is yet another reason why the House of Representatives and Nancy Pelosi did what they did today. It was too much of a flaunting of our Constitution and of our national security by a president that clearly is in reckless disregard for our nation's best intent.
Adam Schiff tonight saying that the president in this phone call does not have to specifically say, I won't give you the money if you don't do the investigation. Adam Schiff's point being that, of course, it can be implied. Let's listen to what the chairman of your committee, of the Judiciary Committee, said with Sean Hannity tonight.
Tomorrow, when we read the transcript, is there any evidence at all that President Trump threatened to take aid away from Ukraine unless they investigate Biden or do his political bidding?
The answer I hear is no, Senator. What do you hear?
Well, I don't know, but I'll tell you this. If the answer is yes, I'll be on your show very disappointed with our president.
What would you say to your chairman?
I agree with Adam Schiff. We all know how this works. If he was taking actions, and the evidence is mounting, that he was specifically taking action to deny aid. I've heard a number of things from congressional colleagues that really suspicious this is what he was doing. But the evidence is mounting that he actually took those actions, and then 8 times in the conversation kept pressing this point. I think you're beginning to have an irrefutable picture of this president acting against the national interest and trying to do something that's thuggish, frankly, when it comes to the national stage. That is a defiling of the presidency, of that office, of our country, and he should be held to account.
Let me ask you something about running a presidential campaign in the midst of this kind of atmosphere. A couple of minutes of what we discussed here tonight was your view from a presidential perspective about an important foreign policy situation that you would inherit as president, Ukraine policy. So that was a good, serious presidential level conversation about that. There are 10 other presidential issues that I know you'd like to discuss. We're not going to. We're not going to talk about your criminal justice policy.
Dude, what are you doing? I hear you. What's your problem? What's your problem? What do you want? Where's my fucking drill? Shit.
I didn't do anything to it for years after that, and then it was really too late.
I want to be able to enjoy life.
The penalties for the people who don't approach this work the way Don McGahn did and refuse to do the illegal things that the president wants them to do.
Well, let me just say, number one, if you're breaking the law, and you should be held accountable. And I think that is something that we should be looking at every step of the way, holding people accountable. Because every time we don't, we're creating a perverse incentive in the future for people to act in this way.
No,
I just want to say, I've seen this, I've been saying this from the beginning of the Trump administration. Those people who are enabling him, who assuage their conscience, witness the kind of things he does on a regular basis. And we've heard reports, I've heard you reporting, the kind of things this person does to moral vandalism in that office. Those people that are enabling him, there is a cold, frigid place under this sort of will go down in history as despicable actors who have enabled one of the presidents who's doing some of the worst things to that office in the entire history of our country. The truth comes out. The truth about Donald Trump will come out. That is why we will defeat him in 2020 if he's still there. But these people, I have a very low regard for people who know he's doing wrong, but still enable him, defend him, and in many ways, empower him to remain in that office.
Senator Cory Booker, thank you very much for joining us tonight. Please come back. We can, on the segment, we can devote to your actual campaign positions and policies. We're going to try to get one of those segments in one of these nights when we swap with this.
This is what's important.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Senator. So, who was listening in on President Trump's phone call? It is now the subject of a whistleblower complaint. How many people were listening in? Who took notes? Was it taped? The man who all of those things should be is Larry Pfeiffer, who used to listen in on President Barack Obama's phone calls with foreign leaders. Larry Pfeiffer will be our next guest.
What does it take to call yourself a whistleblower? Pushing beyond passing.
The all-new 2020 Ford Explorer ST with intelligent four-wheel drive and terrain management system. It's the greatest exploration vehicle of all time.
Walking a dog can add thousands of steps to the day. Walking this many, that can be rough on the hips, feet, knees, and lower back. That's why she wears Dr. Scholl's orthotics. They relieve pain and give her the comfort to move more, so she can keep up with all her best friends. Dr. Scholl's Form to Move.
The amount of growth that I have, I'm embarrassed to say. I felt like I was going to spend my whole adult life paying this off.
Thanks to SoFi, I can see the light at the end of the tunnel.
As of 12 p.m. tonight, I am debt-free.
Not owing anyone anything is the best feeling in the world. I cannot stop smiling about it.
Yes, it's the first word of any new discovery. But when allergies attack, the excitement fades. Allegra helps you say yes with the fastest non-drowsy allergy relief. You can turn any half-hearted yes into an all-in yes. Allegra, live your life, not your allergies.
ASMR.
And taking Ibrance with an aromatase inhibitor is for postmenopausal women or for men with HR-positive, HER2-negative breast cancer that has spread to other parts of the body, meaning it's metastatic as the first hormonal-based therapy. Ibrance plus letrozole significantly delay disease progression versus letrozole. Patients taking Ibrance can develop low white blood cell counts, which may cause serious infections that can lead to death. Before taking Ibrance, tell your doctor if you have fever, chills, or other signs of infection, liver or kidney problems, are pregnant, breastfeeding, or plan to become pregnant. Common side effects include low red blood cell and low platelet counts, infections, tiredness, nausea, sore mouth, abnormalities in liver blood tests, diarrhea, hair thinning or loss, vomiting, rash, and loss of appetite.
Okay, well,
Be in your moment. Ask your doctor about Ibrance.
exactly. Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance, so you only pay for what you need. Nice. But, what's up with your partner? Hey, look, that's your reflection. Only pay what you need. Liberty, 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 liberty.
Introducing infusions from Chicken of the Sea. Tuna infused with real herbs and spices. Packed with 20 grams of protein and good to go. Infusions, the fresh new taste in tuna.
Welcome to Fowler, Indiana, one of the windiest places in America, and home to 3 BP wind farms. In the off chance the wind ever stops blowing here, the lights can keep on shining thanks to our natural gas, a smart partner to renewable energy. It's always ready when needed, or not. At BP, we see possibilities to help the world keep advancing.
President Trump says that tomorrow he will release the, quote, complete, fully declassified and unredacted transcript of his conversation with President Zelensky of Ukraine. When President Richard Nixon released transcripts of White House conversations, they turned out to be grossly inaccurate. What will or will it just be notes about the conversation, or will it be just a summary of the conversation? The White House Situation Room monitors presidential conversations with other presidents and dictators around the world. Larry Pfeiffer run the Situation Room during the Obama administration, and he used to listen in on those phone calls with President Obama and prepare records those phone calls. Larry Pfeiffer is exactly who we want to hear from tonight about what we should expect tomorrow. Larry Pfeiffer will join us and enlighten us after this final break.
911 emergency. My husband is having trouble breathing.
Stressful, here and alive. And everyone aged 65 and older needs to hear it tomorrow. The flu and its complications can be deadly, especially for those with a chronic medical condition. That's why there are higher strength flu vaccines for seniors. Ask your doctor or pharmacist for a single flu shot. Do it today before the flu becomes an emergency. See your healthcare provider or visit these pharmacies.
So that's a stack of Wednesday's web cakes, Morticia's Haunted Hot Chocolate, and Kids Eat Free. You could say that again.
Pancake with a cookie new Adams Family menu and IHOP. And see the Adams Family in theaters. Good on you. You're sporting a look that moves without stretching your wallet. Now being comfortable is even easier. With sport coats starting at $99.99, mix and match shirts and pants free for $99.99, plus get 60% off designer suits. Only at Men's Warehouse.
Humera patients, you inspire us. The way you triumph over adversity and live your lives. That's why we redesigned Humera. We wanted to make the experience better for you. Now there's less pain immediately following the injection. We've reduced the size of the needle and removed the citrate buffers. And it has the same effectiveness you know and trust. Humera Citrate Free is here. A little change can make a big difference.
Humera can lower your ability to fight infections. Serious and sometimes fatal infections, including tuberculosis and cancers, including lymphoma, have happened, as have blood, liver, and nervous system problems, serious allergic reactions, and new or worsening heart failure. Tell your doctor if you've been to areas where certain viral infections are common, if you've had TB, hepatitis B, or proton infections, or flu-like symptoms or sores. Don't start Humera if you have an infection.
Ask your doctor about Humera Citrate Free.
Nice.
Here's to you.
I got
love you like nobody loves you.
I don't have money. I have to leave my children. If I want to make enough money to be with my children, I can't. It'll be fine.
You need to take better care of yourself. The kids miss you. They also want to stay put.
Can't have the world's president cleaning out here without the film.
Sinatra's here.
Judy, rated PG-13.
This is not just any cruise. This is MSC Cruises, one of the largest cruise lines in the world, where every detail is beyond just ordinary. You won't walk on just any stairs. These steps are covered in Swarovski crystals. There's not just one performance to see. There's a different show every night. On an MSC cruise, you won't be served just any meal. You'll enjoy freshly prepared international cuisine, and you won't explore just any destination or experience just any ship. You'll cruise the Caribbean on the best new cruise ship, the revolutionary MSC Seaside. Book a 7-night Caribbean cruise and get unlimited drinks and Wi-Fi from only $5.49 per person. That's right, get unlimited drinks, including wine, beer, mixed drinks, and more. Call MSC Cruises at 800-314-4649. Visit MSCCruises.com travel agent today.
We cannot trust the administration with respect to anything that it produces. And so there are a couple issues here. There's the issue of whether whatever transcript they provide is the only transcript of this conversation, whether there are other readouts of that conversation, and whether they cherry-picked and picked the best readout of that conversation.
Joining our discussion now is Larry Pfeiffer. He was the chief of staff to the director of the CIA during the Bush administration from 2006 to 2009. And then he went on to become the director of the White House Situation Room for President Obama. He listened in on President Obama's phone calls with heads of state and prepared the written records of those phone calls. Larry Pfeiffer, thank you very much for joining us tonight. You just heard what Adam Schiff said. How would you advise Adam Schiff in evaluating what is released tomorrow? What can we expect to be released tomorrow?
Thank you, Lawrence. Situation Room helps set up, monitor, and writes up the transcript of the phone calls. At least historically, that's what they've done. I'm not from the Trump White House. I can't say whether they've changed the procedures since I was there. The transcripts are finalized by a member of the NSC Directorate staff responsible for the call. In this case, it would be the European Directorate. That becomes the final transcript. If that is what is released, I'd like to think that it will be as accurate a transcript as they could have. If it appears to be anything less than accurate, there are those original rough transcripts that were done by the Situation Room staff.
So there are no recordings of the phone calls?
Not unless, again, procedures have changed in the last few years. But when I arrived, that was one of my first questions when I heard the elaborate monitoring procedure and transcription procedure we had. My first question was, why aren't we just recording these calls? And I was told that that was something that we had stopped doing in the mid-1970s. So I didn't push the issue after that.
Yes, after the Nixon tapes brought down the president. So these are handwritten notes that people are. How many people are taking the notes as the speakers are talking?
So normally on a good day, I would assign 3 people to listen on the phone call. They sit there at their keyboard with headphones on, and they are just hammering away at those keys. Those 3 individuals at the end of the call get together. They compare the transcript. If one person may have heard something the other person didn't, or understood something the other person didn't, they would then create a final working transcript. That would be provided then, as I mentioned before, to the directorate. Somebody who probably has the final memo that would be issued, it could vary from call to call, it could vary from administration to administration, but it could be everything from a verbatim transcript, much like what we had produced from the Situation Room, all all the way to, as you mentioned before, a summary, sometimes even a short summary to a 3-page summary. It just varied.
Do other countries record the phone call, and do we know if the other country is recording the phone call?
We don't specifically know, we don't ask. I do know of one instance when a foreign head of state recorded a phone call, much to our surprise. But we generally expect that it's possible, it can be done. But it's hard for me to say with certainty.
When you see what's released tomorrow, will you be able to make a judgment about?
If one reads it and it sounds like people talking with the starts and stops and the changes in direction in a conversation, just those natural pauses like I'm doing right now as I talk to you, I think one could surmise it's pretty darn good. I think if it reads more like elegant prose, it's probably something that's been massaged a bit. And I think if it's just, short summations, if I'm receiving a transcript, I'd probably want to see more than just a summary.
Larry Pfeiffer, can't wait to get your reaction to what is released tomorrow. Thank you very much for joining us tonight. We really appreciate it.
Thank you, Lawrence.
That is tonight's Last Word. The 11th hour with Brian Williams starts now.
Breaking tonight, the House Speaker wields the power of impeachment after months of keeping her caucus at bay. Plus, the White House backs down and will let Congress hear out the intel community's whistleblower complaint and see the Trump phone call transcript and how the president's shifting explanations could come back to haunt him and make him the third president in history to be impeached. All of this at the 11th hour on a historic Tuesday night. It starts right now. Good evening once again from NBC News headquarters here in New York. I'm Steve Kornacki, in for Brian Williams, day 978 of the Trump administration. The day when House Speaker Nancy Pelosi made a historic move to initiate impeachment proceedings against the president.
I'm announcing the House of Representatives moving forward with an official impeachment inquiry. I'm directing our 6 committees to proceed with their investigation under that umbrella of impeachment inquiry. The president must be held accountable. No one is above the law. This week, the president has admitted to asking the president of Ukraine to take actions which would benefit him politically. The actions of the Trump presidency revealed dishonorable fact of the president's betrayal of his oath of office, betrayal of our national security, and betrayal of the integrity of our elections.
The Speaker's decision comes after months of caution, and it could result in Trump becoming just the third president in history to be impeached. At this hour last night, 147 House Democrats backed some type of impeachment action. Tonight, that number would jump to 188. That is more than 3/4 of the House Democratic caucus. Pelosi announced her move
Are
to
you
make the
relaxed?
revelations that Trump pushed the president of
Are you
Ukraine
enjoying yourself?
Joe Biden and his son Hunter Biden
Relax.
during a phone call in late July. Reports allege Trump may have linked aid to Ukraine to the government's willingness to conduct an inquiry into the Bidens. Trump has promised to release the transcript of his call with the Ukrainian president tomorrow, the same day the two men will hold their first face-to-face meeting here in New York. Meanwhile, a senior administration official tells NBC News the White House is preparing to give Congress the whistleblower's complaint by this Thursday. The release had been blocked by Acting Director of Intelligence Joseph Maguire. The New York Times reports tonight the White House is trying to work out a deal that would allow the whistleblower who filed the complaint against Trump to speak to Congress and to allow the Acting Intelligence Director to release a redacted version of the whistleblower's complaint. Tonight, the whistleblower's attorney issued a statement saying, quote, "We applaud the decision to release the whistleblower complaint." There was also this statement from the Acting Director of National Intelligence, quote, "In light of recent reporting on the whistleblower complaint, I want to make clear that I have upheld my responsibility to follow the law every step of the way. I am committed to protecting whistleblowers and ensuring every complaint is handled appropriately. I look forward to continuing to work with the administration and Congress to find a resolution regarding this important matter." Acting DNI Maguire will testify before the Senate and House Intelligence Committees on Thursday. Tonight, House Intel Chairman Adam Schiff gave this explanation about why the White House may be shifting strategy.
The hearing with the director is having the effect that I had hoped that it would, and that is forcing the administration's hand. I told the director that I would call on him, not at closed session, but to all the American people, to explain why he's the first director to withhold a complaint in violation of the statute.
Earlier today, the Senate unanimously passed a resolution calling for the whistleblower complaint to be provided to Congress. As all of this unfolds, the Washington Post reports tonight on divisions within the White House over Ukraine. Quote, Trump's attempt to pressure the leader of Ukraine following a months-long fight inside the administration that sidelined national security officials and empowered political loyalists, including the president's personal lawyer, Rudolph Giuliani, to exploit the U.S. relationship with Kiev. Several officials described tense meetings on Ukraine among national security officials at the White House leading up to the president's phone call on July 25th, sessions that led some participants to fear that Trump and those close to him appeared prepared to use U.S. leverage with the new leader of Ukraine for Trump's political gain. As those worries intensified, some senior officials worked behind the scenes to hold off a Trump meeting or call with the Ukrainian president out of concern that Trump would use the conversation to press Kiev for damaging information on Trump's potential rival in the 2020 race, former Vice President Joe Biden and Biden's son, Hunter. That again from the Washington Post this evening. Here for our leadoff discussion on a Tuesday night, Robert Costa, national political reporter for the Washington Post, the moderator of Washington Week on PBS, Peter Baker, chief White House correspondent for the New York Times. He is also co-author of the book Impeachment in American History. Casey McCammon, politics reporter for Axios, and Jeremy Bash, former chief of staff at the CIA and the Pentagon, and former chief counsel to the House Intelligence Committee. Thank you to all of you for being with us. Peter, you wrote the book on impeachment, so we'll start with you. Obviously, there's been discussion for months now about the possibility Democrats would go in this direction. There have been
Go to sleep, Ronnie. I'll be up and it was good.
Have been noticeably absent from those calls.
You can stay there. Whatever you want to do.
What has played out in the last
Just
24 to 36 hours, and the likelihood that this now places Democrats on a collision course with actually voting to impeach the president.
Yeah, it's really remarkable because we've seen the Democrats premises that they can kind of work their way in on an investigation, get some more information about Mueller had, for instance, that didn't end up proving what they hoped it might prove. And then suddenly, boom, just like that, the rocket fuel has been added to, and the missiles taken off. And say, not only are we going to look at this, she said it was a betrayal of his constitutional vote. She didn't just say, we're going to look at it. In effect, she put her foot on the pedal and said that she's ready to go forward.
Well, this is one of the Politico's noted Democrats there in the House today. Lawmakers noted that she left them without a time frame for action, frustrating Democrats who had hoped her backing would include an urgent push to bring articles of impeachment to the House floor. No, I do not see structural changes, Rep. Val Demings of Florida, just one of three lawmakers who sits on both the Judiciary and Intelligence Committee, said. Robert Costa, it was striking, this particular story with Ukraine, apparently the justification for Nancy Pelosi making this decision that no select committee, no specific committee that's going to deal with this, apparently no House vote on authorizing an impeachment inquiry, no clear timetable here. So procedurally, is there anything that's changed here?
Steve, I was at the Capitol all day talking to House Democrats, House Republicans, and members of the Senate, and they say so much on the impeachment front remains TBD, and that as much as Speaker Pelosi said today she was opening an impeachment inquiry and she's willing to pursue those steps, the details are still going to be worked out by the House Democrats in the weeks to come. What happened was so many House Democrats came to the Speaker and said, this has reached the threshold for impeachment. We need you to make a statement. We need House Democrats to make a formal statement. So politically, she was showing solidarity with them while letting the committees in the coming days and weeks still work out the exact process.
Well, in terms of that process then, Alexi, and in terms of Democrats' commitment to not just open an inquiry, but potentially bring articles of impeachment, have a debate on the House floor, have some kind of a vote on impeachment if it were to come to that. How much now, in terms of their political thinking on this, their strategic thinking on this, how much is going to depend on what happens when that transcript is released tomorrow. Apparently what happens when the whistleblower's complaint is heard. Maybe the whistleblower, him or herself, is heard from. How much of that is going to dictate whether this is something that leads ultimately to Democrats having some kind of a vote here?
I think those are the most important things that will dictate whether or not that happens. The transcript, of course, is helpful, but Democrats themselves have said that's simply not enough. They want the full whistleblower complaint and report so they can have all the facts. They want to hear from the acting DNI director. Is that clip from Representative Adam Schiff you played earlier? He said as much. He wants to talk to them to figure out what's been going on. And I think that hearing from the whistleblower himself or herself, both in the House and the Senate committees, which the whistleblower's lawyer has said as much that he or she wants to talk to both committees, I think that will really help Democrats decide the severity of the situation and really figure out their political calculus moving forward. Because right now, as it stands, as you mentioned, they don't just not have a timeline, but there's enough wiggle room for Donald Trump to continue spinning this and for Rudy Giuliani and Republicans in his corner to continue spinning this. He tweeted as much today, saying they haven't even seen the transcript. How are they calling for impeachment? This is, of course, presidential harassment and a witch hunt. So I think those will be really critical to their next steps moving forward. And for whatever it's worth, Congresswoman Maxine Waters was on MSNBC earlier tonight. She didn't have a clear timeline to give the network when she was giving the interview, but she said very quickly, multiple times. So who knows how quickly that will be.
Well, Jeremy Bash, we mentioned you have a background. We talked about these 6 House committees now that have been working on Trump investigations that are going to be part of this broad process that Nancy Pelosi initiated today. In terms of pursuing an investigation into this Ukraine matter, how is that going to work if there's not one clear committee that's been deputized, that's been designated here? This is basically 6 committees being told to continue working. How will that work functionally?
Well, first, Steve, I think it's important to take a step back and note that this is the most significant, most consequential impeachment in our history, because never before has an impeachment inquiry actually dealt with foreign interference in the United States election, and never before dealt with a national security issue in which arguably the security interests of the United States have been compromised. If you look at the other 2 impeachment situations in our history, they were on much more prosaic, mundane issues. That's point number 1. I think point number 2 is that this is a much more severe and significant issue than even the Russian situation that was exposed last year relating to the 2016 campaign. Because in this case, the president directly had a conversation with the foreign head of state, which wasn't exactly clear that it happened in the Russian situation. And moreover, because he is president, he actually had things that the United States government has to offer in return for that political support. And that's apparently exactly what happened.
So we mentioned a minute ago the president's lawyer's name came up, Rudy Giuliani. Rudy Giuliani, of course, it was a few months ago. He had briefly scheduled a visit to Ukraine. He said back at the time he would be there in the capacity as the president's lawyer, potentially getting information. He said it might be useful to his client, the president, and to the country. Rudy Giuliani, there's some new reporting in the Washington Post tonight saying that he's been extensively involved in terms of Trump's interest in Ukraine as a potential matter worth investigation. Rudy Giuliani was on Fox News just a few minutes ago. Here's some of what he had to say.
Insiders saying, you mucked this up. Your response?
Man, I really did. And you know who I did it at the request of? The State Department. I never talked to a Ukrainian official until the State Department called me and asked me to do it. And then I reported every conversation back to them. And I'm a pretty good lawyer, just a country lawyer. But it's all here, right here. The first call from the State Department. The debriefing of the State.
So why is Rudy running the show on that? Why isn't it FBI and Maine Justice?
That's a very good question. Because the FBI's performance in its entire investigation, including up to this moment, is flawed. Why am I doing it, Laura? Can't you figure it out? I'm his defense lawyer. I'm defending him. He's my client.
Peter Baker, this is a White House that's not a stranger to controversy. It's not a stranger to breaking sort of crisis-style headlines. But what's played out in the last couple of days? What are you picking up around the administration in terms of their concern level about this? Do they view this as, hey, we've been down this road before, we will get through this too? Or do they view this as something that's potentially different?
I think the president has basically anticipated this moment was going to happen since the beginning. I think that, this is the first president we've ever had in American history about whom there was talk about impeachment, even before he was inaugurated. There members talk about, is ethical issues about the Russian interference and so forth. Every stage in the last 2.5 years, people have raised this issue. The only thing that's really shocking or surprising is it's taken this long. And it did happen in fast motion. We talked about, once it actually started to come together, this idea of an inquiry. But we don't know where it's going to go. Why are they so willing to release this transcript tomorrow? The president's clearly doubling down. He clearly must think that this transcript, if not exonerates, at the very least is ambiguous enough that he can make an argument that there's not the sort of quid pro quo people that then hinting at that there wasn't the sort of overweening pressure that they have been writing about. He must think that this is somehow advantageous to him, otherwise he wouldn't be so eager to put it out. Similarly, we don't know yet what the whistleblower complaint says either, but he's moving pretty quickly to do that and taking away one of the arguments that Democrats might have had, which is that if you stonewall us on this, we can impeach you for that alone. Because remember, one of the articles of impeachment against Nixon was not responding to requests for information from Congress.
And I would say from the president's reelection strategy thinking, we've seen in the way that he's talked at rallies during the 2018 midterms, sort of bragging about Democrats' desire then to impeach him, which they weren't even close to it at that point, and saying, how could you impeach a president who's doing the best job, whatever. Sort of treated it like a joke. Today, his reelection campaign was fundraising on impeachment, asking supporters to Russian donations before the spy cam announcement from Pelosi to create what they called an anti-impeachment task force of supporters to send to the president and give their love and support to him. They're really using this as a way to sort of target their base supporters and really rile them up. And when I talk to Obama-Trump voters and even Romney-Clinton voters, especially in the upper Midwest throughout the country, they sort of talk about these Romney-Clinton voters who, of course, voted for the Democrat in 2016, that they fear that impeachment will actually be politically wise for Democrats to move forward on impeachment because of the implications they think it'll have on the election. And they know the political power they have in voting and having their voice heard in that way, and they still don't think it's wise. These Democratic voters, who of course have voted for Republicans before, but that's really interesting when this is all happening in Washington. I'm thinking back to these conversations I've had with these swing voters who on both sides of the aisle, no matter which way they have swung, really do not think impeachment is a good thing for how the election will turn out, and that's all the while President Trump thinks it could be a good thing for him.
Robert Costa, I'm curious what you are hearing from Republicans on Capitol Hill. One of the dynamics of the last 2.5 years, it seems, is that Republican elected officials seem to have a sense that Donald Trump has a very strong, powerful, and unique connection with their voters, with Republican voters, and therefore they've been deferential to him, not wanting to have those voters turn on them. Is that dynamic likely to continue to prevail here, or are you picking up on any subtle changes in attitude there among Republicans on Capitol Hill?
Steve, when you're at the Capitol and you walk to the House of Representatives and you talk to House Republicans, you hear a lot of fervent enthusiasm and support for President Trump, and you heard it today. People who are coming to his side, they're ready to go to the barricades politically for him as this impeachment effort continues in the House. But when you stroll just a few yards over to the U.S. Senate, it's a different atmosphere. Senate Republicans had their weekly lunch today, and hovering outside that room, you really got the sense that Senate Republicans are waiting to see how this plays out. They're not in lockstep with President Trump in the same way so many House Republicans are. And you have people like Chairman Burr at the Intelligence Committee who want to see the facts, who aren't as political in terms of their support of President Trump as members of the House. So there's a real difference in the dynamics between the two chambers.
Jeremy Bash, we mentioned at this time tomorrow, it seems likely we will have the transcript of the president's phone conversation with the Ukrainian president. We may also have some version of that whistleblower's complaint for the public to digest. What should people be looking for as both of those things come to light?
Well, I think we already know that in the transcript or the verbatim account of the phone call with the Ukrainian president, the president did request that Ukraine involve itself in the 2020 election. I think that's beyond dispute. I don't think that there are going to be a lot of new surprises in that transcript. I do think we need to see the entirety of the acts that the whistleblower was concerned about. We need to see all of those issues surfaced before we can have a fulsome understanding of exactly what's at stake here. And then, of course, I think we need to understand the whole history of the withholding of aid to Ukraine, because in fact, that is the way the president operated in an effort to withdraw essentially the benefit of a relationship with the United States until Ukraine helped him politically.
Everybody is going to stay with us, though, and coming up, The uncharted political waters do not find us. We are nearly 400 days away from November 2020. A president facing impeachment is also going to be facing re-election, and his personal attorney has involved himself in foreign affairs. And later, we just spoke about it with Jeremy, we will ask a former FBI agent the election. Just getting started on this Tuesday night.
My car is more than four wheels. It's my after-work decompression zone. So when my windshield broke, I searched for someone who really knew my car. I found the experts at Safelight Auto Glass. With their exclusive technology, they fixed my windshield. They recalibrated the camera attached to my glass, so my safety systems still work. Who knew that was a thing? Safelight has service I can trust.
Safelight repair, Safelight replace.
Let's be honest. You need insurance, but it's not really something you want to buy. It's not sexy.
Oh, delicious.
Or delicious. Or fun. But since you need both car and home insurance, why not bundle them with insurance and save up to 10%, which you can spend on things you really want to buy, like, well, I don't know what you want to buy because I'm just a guy on your TV. Insurance. It's surprisingly painless.
I get it all the time. Have you lost weight? Of course I have. Ever since I started renting from National. Because National lets me lose the weight at the counter and choose any car in the aisle. I don't wait when I return thanks to Drop and Go. In National, I can lose the weight and keep it off. Looking good, Patrick! I know. Go National. Go like a pro.
You've had quite the career.
Yeah, but some pretty prestigious jobs over the years. News producer, executive transport manager, and a beverage distribution supervisor. And now I'm a director at a security software firm.
God, you've been at it a long time.
The thing is, I like working. What if my retirement plan is I want to retire?
Then let's not create a retirement plan. Let's create a plan for what's next.
I like that.
Get a plan that's right for you. TD Ameritrade.
Can my side be firm?
And my side's super soft.
With the Sleep Number 360 Smart Bed, you can both adjust your comfort with your Sleep Number settings.
So can it help us fall asleep faster?
Yes, by gently warming your feet.
But can it help keep me asleep?
Absolutely. It intelligently senses your movements and automatically adjusts to keep you both effortlessly comfortable.
Will it help me keep up with him?
Yep.
So I'll wake up ready for anything?
Oh, we've got your back.
So you can really promise better sleep.
Not promise, proof. And now save up to $500 on select Sleep Number 360 Smart Beds, only for a limited time.
Welcome to Roman, a digital health clinic for men. Sometimes the things that impact us the most
can be the hardest to talk about. No one should have to suffer in silence. Roman gets people the help they need when they need it. Members get genuine medical.
Ryan, what are you doing?
Ongoing care.
Come on down here.
all from the comfort of their own home.
Come here, baby.
I guess that about
What are you doing? Good girl.
Next, when you need a passionate start to the morning.
Are you ready to fight this guy who doesn't play fair?
Good, Ruby.
When you need to go deep inside Washington and hear from someone who's been there.
You do not beat Donald Trump by playing it safe.
You need to Morning Joe, weekdays at 6, only on MSNBC.
More reporting tonight from the Washington Post on the pressure inside the White House. According to the Post, quote, U.S. officials described an atmosphere of intense pressure inside the National Security Council and other departments since the existence of the whistleblower complaint became known. One official, speaking like others on the condition of anonymity, described the climate as verging on bloodletting. The Post goes on to report, quote, the person who appears to have been more directly involved at nearly every stage of the entanglement with Ukraine is Giuliani. Rudy, he did all of this, one U.S. official said. This expletive show that we're in, it's him injecting himself into the process. Still with us, Robert Costa, Peter Baker,
That's
Alexis
awesome.
Hammond, and Jeremy Bass. Jeremy,
Bad
let me just
old
start with
Rudy.
you. This Post story paints a picture of all sorts of infighting in this administration, national security professionals baffled by what they were seeing, and the emergence, according to the Post at least, of Rudy Giuliani, the president's personal lawyer, as one of the driving forces, perhaps the driving force in this. What do you make of that?
Well, I also have a question about the clip you played earlier, in which on Fox News, Giuliani said, "I did this all at the direction and behest of the State Department." We need to ask and we need to understand whether that's accurate. Somebody's lying. Either he did this because the State Department directed him to, or he did it subverting the State Department. And I think the fact that the personal lawyer of the president did this indicates this was done to benefit personally the president. This was not done to benefit the United States. And when a president receives a personal benefit in exchange for a public act, that's called bribery.
Robert Costa, you're familiar with Rudy's role in this administration with this president. You're as familiar as anybody. Talk about how it's come to be that Rudy Giuliani went from a role as a surrogate in the campaign, speaker at the Republican convention. There was talk, I remember, of him potentially being Attorney General or Secretary of State, to this role that apparently encompasses some far-reaching work when it came to Ukraine.
When you talk to Rudy Giuliani, the former New York mayor, and people close to President Trump, you really understand that these are two men who are generational peers. They speak roughly to each other privately. They feel like they can be very candid about their political aims and agenda, their views of foreign policy. And so in this tight inner circle of President Trump, an outsider president, Rudy Giuliani is always there hovering, not only as a personal lawyer, but as someone who understands the president instinctively. And so the president turns to him for project after project, whether it's the Russia probe or dealing with Ukraine on foreign policy. And it has alarmed national security officials who wonder, why does this former New York mayor and personal attorney have so much influence? But influence he does have.
I want to put this up too. We've been seeing and talking as this impeachment issue's been out there for months about polling on this subject. That polling is generally been in the context of the Mueller investigation of the Russia probe. We've seen more opposition than support. There's this tonight. This is from Ipsos and Reuters. This is a poll that was conducted yesterday and today. In other words, this poll was conducted after this Ukraine story came to light. And you can see here, these numbers are fairly consistent with what we've been seeing on the broader question of impeachment. Should Trump be impeached? 39% yes, 47% plurality, opposition to impeachment in that poll. We should note, however, they did ask in this poll, had folks heard about this Trump-Biden-Ukraine story? 44% said they had heard little or nothing about it so far. So obviously early in the story, Peter, a chance with that many people not being too familiar for those numbers to change. But from a Democratic standpoint, it seems Nancy Pelosi, one of her reservations to date was how stubborn those polls had been. If this is a preview of what's to happen, if the numbers stay where they've been, does that affect how Democrats react going forward?
Yeah, of course. Look, Jeremy said earlier that this is different than any other impeachment before because the issues are different. He's right about that. But there are some parallels with previous impeachments, one of which is that in 1998, when the Republican House impeached Democratic Bill Clinton, they did not have the public behind them. The numbers were like this. They didn't have a majority support. In fact, Clinton's numbers were much higher than Trump's are today. They were in the 60s, and eventually, even a few days after the impeachment, they went up to 70, 73, I think. That's the difference. Trump has never had that kind of support, but they didn't have the support. And I was in touch with Newt Gingrich tonight. He, of course, was the Republican speaker back then. He thinks that, well, not surprised he would say this, but he says that Nancy Pelosi risks having the same thing happen to her that happened to him, which is that they end up with an unpopular impeachment, ends up backlashing on the party that does it, and it could help the president.
Alexei, how confident do you perceive Democrats to be, Democratic leaders? You saw, obviously, Pelosi make that move today, but we've also seen a number of Democrats in the last 2 days from marginal districts, swing districts, Democrats who have to worry potentially any given election about losing to a Republican. We've seen a number of them come out in favor of an impeachment inquiry. Is there a confidence level among Democrats that numbers like we just showed are going to change?
I don't know if there's a confidence that those numbers are going to change, but I think what we've seen between the members who have came out today, which I think you mentioned earlier is more than 30 between yesterday and today, and the 7 House Democrats who wrote that op-ed in the Post that came out last night. All of those folks are from marginal districts, the ones who wrote that article last night, and even a lot of the Texas House Democrats that came out today. They're from very marginal, sort of vulnerable districts. They know what's at risk, but a lot of them have this national security, foreign policy background that I think, and I'm not an expert or advising them in any way, but I think that actually gives Democrats a chance to change the messaging on this whole impeachment discussion that they've otherwise sort of lost in the ways that they've been hemming and hawing and dragging their feet for months on end until today. It gives them an opportunity to refocus the conversation about what is at stake here and why they're moving forward on this, to narrowly define it as a national security issue, to say that their national security background allows them to put country over party, and that they don't think the president is doing that, and Republicans who are standing in line with him are not doing that either. They can change that conversation and make it something maybe bigger than just blue and red politics, or pro-Trump or anti-Trump politics, and use it as a way to change the conversation and really educate people on what they see as the larger issue, not just saying Trump is the issue.
And that is actually the other history lesson you get from past impeachments with Watergate, Nixon, in fact. Although it wasn't really for impeachment until the end, until the evidence came out, the smoking gun tape, as it was called, when they heard Nixon's voice, actually saw a transcript of Nixon saying that the CIA should be used to block the FBI investigation.
Oh, shit.
So the Democrats have to
Really?
to find something that would change.
That sucks.
Pressure about this, not just more of the same, but something that genuinely changes their minds.
Right, and again, we mentioned it's an initial readout. That whistleblower's complaint may be published this week. That transcript, we'll see what they say. We'll see if the numbers change. Robert Costa, Peter Baker, Alexi McCammon, Jeremy Bash. Thanks to all of you. And coming up, a transcript, a complaint, and an IG report. How these three documents could change the nation's political history. That is next when Your Lucky Power continues.
Plants capture CO2. What if other kinds of plants captured it too? If these industrial plants had technology that captured carbon like trees, we'd help lower emissions. Carbon capture is important technology, and experts agree. That's why we're working on ways to improve it, so plants can be a little more like plants.
Walking a dog can add thousands of steps to your day. Walking this many, that can be rough on hands, feet, knees, and lower back. That's why she wears dogs. They relieve pain and give her the comfort to move more, so she can keep up with all her best friends. Dr. Scholl's Born to Move.
I have the power to lower my blood sugar and A1C.
Because I just don't think it activates my body to release it. It's supposed to. Trulicity is for people with type 2 diabetes. It's not insulin. I take it once a week. It starts acting in my body from the first dose.
Trulicity isn't for people with type 1 diabetes or diabetic ketoacidosis. Don't take Trulicity if you're allergic to it, you or your family have medullary thyroid cancer, or have multiple endocrine neoplasia syndrome type 2. Stop Trulicity and call your doctor right away if you have an allergic reaction, a lump or swelling in your neck, or severe stomach pain. Serious side effects may include pancreatitis. Taking Trulicity with a sulfonylurea or insulin increases low blood sugar risk. Side effects include nausea, diarrhea, vomiting, belly pain, and decreased appetite, which leads to dehydration and may worsen kidney problems.
I have it within me to lower my A1C.
Ask your doctor about Trulicity.
Shrimp, yeah. Red Lobster's Endless Shrimp is back for just $15.99. Get all the shrimp you want, any way you want. Sriracha shrimp, savory grilled teriyaki shrimp, classic shrimp scampi, and more. Red Lobster's Endless Shrimp is $15.99. Hurry in.
Through the AT&T network, edge-to-edge intelligence gives you the power to see every corner of your growing business. From managing inventory to detecting and preventing threats, to scaling up your production, giving you a nice big edge over your competition. That's the power of edge-to-edge intelligence.
Here's a great way to save money on your prescription medications. If you take Viagra or Cialis, we can give you a way to pay as little as $2 a pill. Compare that to prices as high as $60.
Oh, I gotta hide that.
Call now with your prescription and pay as little as $2 a pill. We offer 24/7 service and always free delivery and confidential packaging. Call Pharmacy Shop 24/7 to get generic versions of Viagra or Cialis for as little as $2 a pill, plus free.
Just a little cramped. Hello. Hello, my friends. I've missed you all so much. Oh, do I see the Kool-Aid person? Kool-Aid, ultra Kool-Aid girl? Oh, I think I'm in love with you. I think I'm freaking in love. She's a heavy tipper. That's for sure. I've missed you all. I have. I made this for you all, especially the super chatters. That's correct. I made art for you all because I wanted to. I want you to know how I feel. You all are very special to me. $9. Come on. Is she? She's probably the only one that like super chatted while I was putting this up. You're so awesome, Electric Kool-Aid Kid, or whatever your crazy ass name is. MK Ultra Magic Kool-Aid Girl. She's a female. What's up with the Cialis and Viagra commercials? That's a good question. I don't know. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't have the problem. That's not as worrying as like the diaper commercials. Those are really disturbing. You get to be about my age, you start thinking about what if I have to take a dump in my pants. It's the truth. Incontinence for chicks, like, so, you know. Well, thank you. Tell us where the kids' bodies are. I just shut up. Wait, thank you, Jay Von Rowe. Jay Von Rowe. But those are the commercials that bother me. And the one that really disturbs me, it's the it's like a older black chick, like, but she's good looking, she's attractive, and they're trying to pass the underwear off as being sexy. It's not underwear, it's a diaper. So they're using this, you know, older but sexy woman, and she's talking about how pretty she feels wearing her diaper. Nobody that is wearing a diaper is going to be feeling sexy unless they're just absolutely out of their mind. Sick, which there are sick people. I mean, the furries, that's similar, isn't it? No, they don't do that. The furry people probably do wear diapers. They have to. They're in a costume. I wish Remy would do me a favor. She had hands. I'd ask her to grab me the water. Remy would do it too. Remy's awesome. Remy, you are awesome. But and then the other diaper commercial that's really disturbing is no, not on the computer, sweetie. Get off, dude. Get off. Come on, man. I'm not gonna go over this. Don't do this. Don't. We talked about this. Didn't we talk about this? You don't get on the computer, okay? Don't do it. Don't do it. I give you attention. Just get on my shoulder. Don't get on the computer. That sucks. That sucks. She's done some really stupid shit that way. Yeah, get on that. I don't care. Get on the artwork. Don't get on the electronics. But so it's this old dude, right? And he's wearing the Depends because he's crapping in his pants or something. I don't know. I don't know why people are wearing these. Is it just about peeing? Or when you get old, you like take dumps in your diapers? I don't know. Maybe guys are incompetent. Yeah, that's true. But it's this guy. He's probably maybe older than me, and he's talking on the phone, I think. And then like it's like now I can go on the camping trip with, I thought was his daughters, but then my friend Jinian explained to me, no, that's not his daughters. That would be his granddaughters. It's you know, you go on the camping trip and you take a dump in your diaper and you're with your granddaughters. Do you take a shovel with you too? I mean, what are you gonna do with that dirty diaper? Remy, you're not being cool. Oh, you're just fucking up, sweetie. Get out of here. What a jerk. What a jerk. Don't do that. I know you did that on purpose. It's not funny, Rem. Oh, she fucked up my installation. That's pretty rude. That's rude, Remy. Oh, fuck. So like, what do you do with that dirty diaper? Do you dig a hole and bury it? I would bury it. I would bury my diaper. I think that would be the best approach. You don't want anybody to find that by accident. You know, don't hide it. Like, what if you hide it by like the tire of your car? One of your granddaughters went to the store, smashed your diaper. Just absolutely horrible. Like, I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. I don't want to wear a diaper. My friend got a back operation. This is true. And when he got the back operation, thank you. Thank you so much, Matthew. My eyes are so shitty, it looked like it was Smokey the Bear. But it's just Matthew wears a hat. But I don't think that's Matthew. I think that's not Matt. But I don't know. Anyway, diapers. Matt distracted me. I had a train of thought going, and it was important stuff. I just, I mean, you definitely get diaper rash. You would have to use baby powder. This isn't good. It isn't. It isn't good. You're wearing a diaper. You're not getting laid. It'd be horrible. It'll probably happen to me. It will. I'm the dude that when I was younger and I was in shape, like if old people were in front of me and they were moving slow, I wouldn't say anything, but I'd be like, oh fuck, man. I'd be saying to myself, get the old person out of here. I'm in a hurry. Move. Now it's me. Now it's totally me. I'm not saying the N word. You're gonna here. No, I'm not saying the N word. And we'll get rid of you real quick. Hang on. Bye. Bye, idiot. You're a loser. What a jerk. Nobody needs that crap. No one. It's absurd. What's the matter with people? Oh, come on. That's sweet, but that's a little that's sort of overly dramatic and probably not true. I don't think that's true. Satan is stupidity. Satan and God, it's the same thing, isn't it? I can't really believe in either. No, and yeah, he was a loser. Yeah, Bucket's pretty cool. Oh yeah. Come on. Christy, you're a Russian you're Russian honey trap, aren't you? You want my dog training secrets. I don't believe that crap. Bumble versus Tinder. I already did that, and I didn't have a lot of luck. Thank you. Sup? I'll think about the moderators. I'm thinking about it. I'll just keep thinking about it. I got it under control. Bumble versus Tinder. I just don't do it anymore. It was just, Nathan, thank you. You're really awesome. I hope you never have to wear a diaper. I hope none of my family has to wear a diaper. Oh, I was telling you about my friend. So he gets his spine fused. You know, it's like a back problem. So you can't move. It's really intense. And he said he was stuck in bed. And he said you can't even get up and take a crap. And I said, well, what do you do? You know, like, what do you mean you can't get up and take a crap? And he says, well, they put a diaper on you. And I'm thinking, fuck, man. I don't want to go in the hospital. They'll put a diaper on me and make me crap in the bed. I don't want to do that. I don't want to crap in my pants. And then I said, well, you know, certainly, like, you're too fucked up to change it. Like, who comes in and changes it? Is it a hot nurse? And he said, no, it was a dude. It was a dude. And he said it was fine. He said it really wasn't a problem. He said they had to get him to dump, so they gave him an enema. And I said, how was that? And he said, it was awesome. He said the guy, like, you know, cleaned me all up and everything. And I'm thinking, fuck. Oh my God. I understand we're animals. I get it. But I mean, come on. That shit, that sucks. That's like you lose all your dignity, you know, getting fixed up in a hospital. It's like, oh my God. Thank you for your Kool-Aid. Well, she's forcing me to do stuff. She wants to force me to do stuff. I don't know. It's such a bummer. Such a bummer being human. When you're young, you don't think about it. You don't think about it. But then as soon as like you have like an injury that's like really fucks you up. Oh, I don't know. Maybe there's people that's young. You know, if you're young and I didn't have an injury for years or anything. It was like you think you're sort of like unstoppable as a kid, but then like you get older, you start falling apart. Like these fucking glasses, like I can see things far away fine. I got 20/20 vision as far as that's concerned. But this close, I can't see shit. I can't see shit. Maybe I could get LASIK or something. I don't. It's just, you know what it is. Yeah, I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm just talking about diapers and getting old. What about you? Are you wearing a diaper? You might like it. My friend liked it in the hospital. He liked getting the enema, I think. I have two friends, Mike and Lisa, and they both got like high colonics or whatever you call them, coffee enemas, I think, in LA. And there's no truth that like that helps medically at all. First of all, that's like junk science from what I understand. That's just like, you know, getting an enema. No, thank you. And so they got them, and milk paint, hers was fine and everything was fine. But then when Mike got his, this is true. He told me that he cried. I don't know. I don't want to cry, and I don't want anybody doing that. I don't. That's not even a nurse. That's like what? Like you can get your nails done and get an enema in LA, or a waxing. They give waxings and enemas. That's a business. Come on, what kind of business is it? That's perversion, and we know it. That's just some kind of perversion. There's no proof that like You know, like what's the bullshit that they say? It cleans out your colon or something, or what's the myth that we have 10 pounds of meat stuck in our colon or some bullshit? Meat's easily digestible. It's true, but I don't think it gets stuck. I don't think it gets stuck. I don't know. I just is there anybody that is looking forward to wearing a diaper, or is there anybody on here that does wear a diaper? Is it the liberal agenda, Pete? You gotta stay away from all that. You know what? Here we go. Let's see. There you go. Bam. Bye. 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 Russian bot, maybe. Huggies. You wear Huggies? I don't want to do it. I just don't want anybody wiping my butt. It's just, god damn. You end up 80 falling down on the bathroom floor or something, crap all over yourself. Help me, I can't get up. You have life alert with you. You're like, then the EMTs come over and help you into, wait, thank you, Trees Network. That is so generous. Thank you. To help him with you. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. And the EMTs take you out, and they don't really have, they probably clean you up a little bit before they put you on the gurney, but you stink. You smell. It's embarrassing, and at least one of the EMTs is going to be a chick. I don't know which is worse. It doesn't matter. It's a human seeing you like that. It's like covered in feces and decrepit. It's not anything to look forward to. It isn't. It's just bullshit. I don't know why we're here. I do not understand this. I don't know why we know there's something else. Animals, you know, the other animals, they have it easier. Like not being able to build a spaceship and shit. They have it so much easier. We got it terrible. We got it terrible. We know of our own mortality. And we know there's weird shit out there too. So it's like, what is it? And then we make that shit up, that religious shit. It's just shit. Fuck it. Well, I rake it in at night. It's lucrative. It's lucrative. I might build something every night for you all. It's for you super chatters. Like the other people are just kind of hanging out, and I do appreciate you all too, but on a much different level. The super chat people I appreciate at a higher level. They're awesome. You guys are pretty good. You're okay. Some of you obviously aren't okay. And when I see that stuff, I'm gonna get rid of it. So what was somebody calling me yesterday? Said that I was e-bagging. When I'm saying like, come on, where the super chats? That's e-bagging. So it is. Somebody has to finance this company. That's what it's going to end up being too. It's going to be a company, and all you all are going to be part of it. It's the truth. Well, at least the ones that have super chatted, you all are going to be part of it. See, you might get a key to the other side of the yacht. That's, you know, where I hang out. You are awesome, Magic Kool-Aid. Magic Kool-Aid, you missed this. I didn't see you during the when I was in Geneva with the Frogman. I hope you saw it later. But don't worry, I'm gonna do it again. We're gonna do it from. I was just over there earlier today, and I was moving the Frogman to another room in the same facility, and I'm gonna prove to everybody. There was some jerk that was saying, why is the Frogman shiny? The Frogman is not shiny. if you're in a black room, it soaks up all the light, so you have to use a ton of light. There was a lot of wattage going, and everything was shiny. Everything was shiny. So I'm going to prove that it isn't shiny. And once again, we'll go up close with the camera live, okay? Because the camera that I'm using right now will actually do it. So if I have one of those in Geneva, I can just, as a matter of fact, I bought a 32-foot USB cord, extension cord. So, did I get the right shit? God, I hope I did. Oh well, I'm not gonna worry about it. But I'm getting a longer cord so I can hook up the webcam and walk around with the webcam. Oh, thank you so much. Yes, for my diapers, thank you. But so I can walk around with the webcam, and I don't have to walk around with the computer. This webcam, this streaming thing is great. I'm loving it. It's lucrative, and I get to like meet great people that can be on like the board of directors. The people that are going to be on the board of directors are the super chatters. You other people, I'm not saying you're not awesome. You're not in the club. It's a club. Think of it as like an exclusive country club, right? It's an exclusive one. And how do you get in an exclusive country club? You buy your way in. Absolutely. How awesome is that? $5, man. Thank you. Seriously, thank you. What if I'm poor? Don't worry about it. You can hang out. I'm just shitting. Everybody can hang out. I take all comers. I don't care. Yes, of course I agree with LGBTQ rights. What are you talking about? That's a very vulnerable community. That's the term that makes sense to me. Oh, what's up, Bart? Bartholomew? It's nice to see you, Bartholomew. Yeah, Dad's okay. Don't call me Grandpa yet. That would be a bummer. I don't know. Those commercials bum me out. All those. They're all directed towards me too, like people my age. I watch the news. I don't know if you all knew this. Charlie's dad told me this. This is true. I gotta find out if Charlie's doing okay. Last time I think I talked to Charlie's dad, he said he thought that Charlie was doing better. Like, God damn it. I love that dog. Cocker Spaniel. They're idiots, but I love them. That about Charlie. I just can't, like, terrible. Please use it. Thank you, I will. I just put you on my mental list. J Kibbs. You got it. I do have a lot of ideas. I do. I forgot last night there was some idea, really good idea for a GoFundMe. It wasn't my gravity generator. That might be one I'd put up. Nixie, you're the fucking best. Look at that. Wow. I heart you. I do. I heart you. That's why I made this. I made this for you all that are in my family, my super chat family. And we'll be on the yacht. It'll happen. It will happen. 20 pounds of love. I don't know what that means. What What's everybody doing? Why aren't you out like getting wasted at a bar? You all don't do that or what? Oh, look at that. There's a cat fight on here. I love that. That's hot. That is hot. Oh, you just woke up. Was talking about diapers. Oh, $2. What the fuck? Serve me a spot on the yacht. You, sir, can have a spot on the ship when it comes to the mothership. I will get you on the mothership. So some of you will get on the mothership. I will make sure that you can get on. You don't want to get stuck here. It will be known as the Keratin Factory. It's not going to be fun. It's not. They want to eat our hair. They want to eat our hair, our fingernails. I don't know. Just start. It's going to start soaking in the more I talk about it. Oh, why? Thank you. Yes, thank you. No, good. No. Good luck to you when they show up. I hope you can keep your hair if you're on Earth. I'm telling you, I'm like Nostradamus. Everybody's like, no, he's bullshitting. Look at that. He puts like he makes a little diorama before while he live streams, he made a diorama, and I was talking nonsense. I'm not talking nonsense. I'm not talking nonsense. I'm trying to prepare everybody. I don't know any other way to do it. They're coming. They're coming, and they're, you know, they eat keratin. That's what they want. I remove all my hair and nails. Am I safe? No, because I believe that keratin can be removed from your skin. You can eat your skin. But if you remove the skin, the dermis, I mean, that would kill us. So I think is skin keratin? I should check. I don't want to give out disinformation. I know it's hair and nails. Keratin. Skin. Keratin is one of the. Keratin is one of a family of fibrous structural proteins. It is a key structural material making up hair, nails, feathers, horns, claws, hooves, and the outer layer of skin. Yes. Keratin is also the protein that protects. Okay, well, anyway. So there you go. That's what I understood anyway. That like they keep us alive, and they take our hair and they take our nails as it grows. But they don't take our skin, because if they take our skin, they can't keep us alive. It doesn't sound tasty to me, but I'm not an alien, so. I mean, we're like vampires. Come on, the way we eat meat and shit. What's the difference between us eating cows and some alien species coming here for our hair and our nails? It's very similar. You got to hunt it someplace. Where are you gonna go? Oh, let's go to Earth and get some hair, feathers. I'm sorry. Am I worrying some of you? I hope I'm not worrying anybody. Don't worry about it. There's nothing that you can do. Some of us will be rewarded, sort of, by being able to live and not live in a glass tube or whatever. I don't know the details. Maybe they strap us down to a table, or they're like easy chairs made out of plastic, you know, and kick back. So we kick back and we're kind of strapped in there. The aliens just come by and shave our heads, talking their fucking weird alien language. Yeah, take his nails now. Clip his nails. Yum. Yum. This one's making us a lot of money. Shit like that. That one's got delicious hair. Could happen. It could happen. Anything could happen. What, yeah, come on. What do they do? What do you mean? They just burn us out and then that's it. They go to the next one or go to the next planet. I'm so happy to be here though. I really am. I missed you all. Like I wasn't around you all for like an hour or two and I was like, shit, I wonder what everybody's doing. My family's doing. So I'm just looking at those denominations, and I know one of them is, I think that's a euro. Is that a euro? I think so. I don't know. And then what's that other thing? I asked, and somebody told me, like a lira. Is that what that is? I don't know what that is, but I love seeing it. I think it's awesome. I'd like to have enough of it that I could come visit that foreign country, wherever that's coming from. I'd like to go to the Amazon. The only thing that's holding me back is vampire bats. And money, and I have no money. I have like no money. But I also look at the commercials for sandals, and it looks great. It does. It looks great. If I'm going there, I'd like to, take a model with me. It looks pretty good. I'm not going to remove that comment. It's awesome. I just hope you're not a dude. Seriously. I don't know. I worry about you. I worry about my family most of all when the invasion happens. I worry about you all. I'll be safe. I'll be just fine. Trust me. Some of you will do all right. It'll be changes for everybody. It'll be even a change for me. There's nothing that but there's nothing that we can do about it. The way that I understand this is the way that I understand it. Oh, thank you. May contain bleach is like seriously, like my best family, like my one of my closest family members. I love May contains bleach consistently. And that name is so easy to recognize. That's like that Kool-Aid. I love you. I love you all so much. I love you. I feel like I might cry. Good night. Don't leave. We're just getting started. It's only 12 o'clock. Come on. Come on. Don't leave. I don't want to cry. Cry for 100? Come on, sure. What's the big deal? I'll be your trained monkey. Whatever. It's really not a problem. But the thing of it is I think you all can do that and just take your 100 away. But whatever. That's what I think. I mean, I just find it hard to believe that. I find it hard to believe that anybody can just like some of these people. It's like, come on. I keep seeing them, and it's like they're laughing at me right now. They're like, yeah, it was only like $30 I spent. Like, and Caine was making a big deal about it. I'm sorry. It's just like this boggles my mind. This whole super chat thing, and I just like, come on. I'm giddy with excitement. I'm like it's the first day of school. Yay. Super chat me. Yay. You're my best friends. I really will. Those people, like the really heavy tipper ones, if those stay in there, if they're not removed, nobody's getting a hold of your keratin. I will pull out all the stops for you. Seriously. Money talks, and you know it does. Actually, yes, I'm wholesome. It's wholesome. Doesn't anybody want to know anything like, want me to make a prediction about anything? Like, do you want to know who's going to win the World Series next year or something? This is one from my wife. She just described, oh, your wife is awesome. I bet she's smoking hot. She is. She's awesome, and she treats you good. Do not leave that woman. That woman is awesome, and you, as a husband, I'm like Nostradamus. I'm telling the truth about Matthew and his wife. You, sir, would never cheat on your wife. You love her. You would never even look at another woman, and if Matt looked at a woman, he would look away, and he'd look right at his wife and say, I love you, baby. That's what you do, Matt. You tell her you love her. He's awesome. He's an awesome guy, Matt's wife. Matt's awesome. Matthew is awesome. Oh my God, this is the best. This Dollar General water is really great water. They're not sponsoring my shit. Nobody will sponsor me, but this is a product that I like. It's cheap. It costs $1. It tastes good. Oh my God, that's great. Tap water? No, not here. Come on, I'm in Beaver Dams. If you saw my water, you'd know why I wouldn't drink it. It's horrible. It looks I've had rust bacteria in it. Looks really bad. What, you want me to talk sexy to you? What do you want me to say? Is that how you like it? You like it real quiet? Or is that real creepy? You probably like it real creepy, don't you? Is that what you want? You want it real creepy? You're sick. What do you... Gatorade is Remy. Yeah, Remy. She's cool as shit. Look at her. Hi, Rem. What's up? I don't know. I got nothing to say. I wish there was a way that like the people could get picked out, and then there could be a little window, and I could interview my my people that I love so much. There's probably something like that on some other platform. Maybe not. I don't know. But I love this HD camera, and I love this not editing. Just fuck it. Just turn the damn thing on. $2. Nathan, thank you so much. What kind of yacht are you getting? I don't know anything about yachts. I'm just gonna get the most expensive one I can afford. I'll get a great one. It'll be a real big one. One of those like Trump had a yacht, like something like that. One of those. Real big. Half of it, half of it'll be for me. It'll be my yacht, but you guys can hang out on the other half. I need a lot of room. Give us a call in. Oh, I see. So like what? Like I could Skype and do this at the same time so we would have audio. But wait a minute. No, see, here's the problem if I do this. I've thought about this. And spelled druggy, you don't. Here's the problem with it. If I do something live and somebody says something, it's on my channel. I'll be responsible. I can't do that. I can't. I have to be responsible and make sure that nobody says anything crazy. And that clearly nobody on the internet can be trusted. I don't know who anybody is. I cannot trust anybody. That won't work. Yeah, see? It won't. Why do you keep avoiding my question? What's your question? Periscope. Oh yeah, I've heard of Periscope, sure. I've never even looked at it. But isn't that done on just your phone? I don't want to do that. I want a quality image. I don't want like all those platforms that are sort of centered on the phone, like Instagram. You know, it's just like I have Instagram. I never use it. I don't know. You could do that. Just isn't on you. Yeah, you can't trust some people. Well, most people. I've heard that about Mark Maron. I don't understand that one either. It's about my age. It's a mustache. Insanity would mean moment. Oh, come on. Oh, come on. Come on. Ow. My hip's killing me. Would you ever consider taking part in a text video question answer for super chats in our community? Our users love your content. Would you ever consider taking part in a text video question answer for enough super chats in our community? I don't really know what your community is. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't. I'm sorry. I'll look at it. Trees Network? Is that a channel? I don't understand. I like trees. Trees are okay. See that wood? It's made from trees. It's totally natural. See my walls? It's wood. It's trees. It's trees. Yeah, I know. I mean, it's attention. Wood is trees. I don't know. How do you become an official member of the Bigfoot community? You just became one. You did. You just became one. Congratulations. Seriously. Welcome to the community. What is Walmart? Come on. There's like a 400-foot tree. Is there? I don't know. What, like a sequoia? A redwood? What are the oldest trees? Those pine trees in the desert. What are those called? Somebody knows. They're like 3,000 years old and shit. Not redwood. It lives in the desert. It's the oldest living creature on the planet. It's a type of pine tree. It is not a redwood. It's not a redwood. I don't even think it's a Joshua tree. Yeah, it's a real straggly looking pine tree. Jericho tree, maybe? Yep. Could be. It is a really straggly looking pine tree. Looks like shit, but it's old as fuck. I don't think it's Joshua tree. Let's find out. Hang on. Oldest tree in the world. Methuselah in California is a bristlecone pine from California White Mountains. It's thought to be almost 5,000 years old. It's the oldest. So there you go. It looks fucking weird. 6 of the old. I don't care that the oldest living one is 5,000 years old. It is. It's a bristlecone pine. Don't cut those down. If you're caught using that thing for firewood, you're going to jail. Definitely. I was thinking about the. I don't know. It's not important. What's up? What's everybody yakking about? I have to read this. You know it'd be great. Oh, I could do this. I could make. I think you're all's like text. I could make some of those like so that they're like text to speech. Maybe I could do that. No, it's not. That's too much work. I already work too hard. I really do. That's why I love this live streaming, and I also love the live streaming because I get to be close to you all. I love you. I love you all so much. You have no idea. Make a poll. I could do that. I don't know if I can do it on this though. I don't think that works on here. I know that does. There's an emoji. I look, see? Look at that. Isn't that great? Stupidest shit I've ever seen. There's I don't think you can make a poll here. I don't know. How old is everybody? Say your ages real quick. Let me see this. This is fucking freaks me out every time. 24. 18. Get the fuck out of here. 500. 23. 33. 19. 41. 32. 20. 14. 17. 22. 40. 28. 35. 62. 47. 23. It's insane. Shirley's older than me. It's not Shirley Ann or something. Price. You're not 98. No. You're not 70. I'm the oldest one here. No. I don't know if I believe those. Last message we're trying. Can't post a link, but chat. We often embed. Well, thank you. Thank you. I don't know. I'm hungry. I am. I'm starving. I weighed myself at the vet. I lost some weight, which is great. It is. It's great. I don't want to be fat. I've never been fat, but I used to be able to eat whatever I wanted. I loved the shit out of rice pudding. I haven't had that in almost a year, maybe longer. God, that was good. I'd get 2 tubs of that, and then I would just like, that would be dinner. You know what else is good is Pop-Tarts. God, I love those things. I wouldn't even toast them. I just like Pop-Tarts. Like, I don't eat them anymore. I like a Pop-Tart with butter on it. That is good. That is real tasty. I miss it, sure. Those Tate's cookies, God, I love those. That would be another example of something that I would eat for dinner. I'd eat a bag of Tate's cookies. Those chocolate chip cookies, those are great with butter on them. I'm not shitting. Man, those are like so good. That is a great chocolate chip cookie. I don't eat any of that anymore. Oh, wait, thank you, Nathan. Get some rice pudding. I can't eat that stuff anymore. I shouldn't. I'm supposed to keep my, I don't want to be diabetic. Fuck that. I don't know if I should check my blood and find out if I'm still pre-diabetic. I don't think I am. Totally changed my diet. That was tough. Drop sugar. Drop sugar is the worst to give up. Ryan, dude, that is fucking awesome. $20, really? All right, I'll accept it. Thank you very much. But that shit, that fucking sugar, man, that was really difficult to give up. I can't tell you, man. That went on for like months. Like months, like the withdrawal from other cravings, my God. Like booze, it sort of got better quicker, like after 30 days, you're sort of like, all right, your body's like adjusted. But sugar, it's harder to adjust because you're still creating sugar when you eat like these high carb foods like oats. So you really crave that, like, give me the pint of ice cream. I loved candy bars. I would just eat, I'm hungry. I would go get a giant Snickers. That was a meal to me. Stuff's great, but it's terrible. It's terrible for you. I mean, it turns you into diabetes. It's really not good for you. I will say this, that stevia is it's an alternative, definitely, opposed to like sugar, but it isn't as good as pure cane sugar. That stuff, I would eat brown sugar out of the box. Dark brown sugar. Oh my God. Yum. Yum. I mean, that stuff is like, what are you doing, Rem? She's nuts. She's getting all randy. Look at her. Remy. Spoonfuls of real maple. Tasty. True. Yeah, I have some maple syrup that I still had from when, before I quit. It's in there. I look at it every day. I agree. I would do the same shit. Maple syrup, yeah. Just drink it, tip it back. Using maple syrup instead of sugar, it's delicious. Like for iced tea, tastes great. Honey's pretty good, but honey's sort of like different. Using honey in that recipe, Banana Foster's, when you take the banana, saute them in a pan with a little bit of butter, and then put some brown sugar in there, and then you just put like a little bit of honey in there. Really, God, that's great. Molasses, blackstrap molasses right out of the bottle too. Yum. That's good stuff. That stuff always reminds me, like when I had a horse as a kid, there was this feed that had molasses in it, and it just smelled so good. It's like I wanted to eat the horse feed. Stuff just smelled so delicious. Really good. There was a kind of chewing tobacco that was kind of like that too. I can't remember what it was. I tried chewing when I was in the Navy for like a split second. It was gross, and I only did it because I couldn't get cigs. If I could get cigarettes, no problem. But if I couldn't get cigarettes, somebody had tobacco, I would try that, and it was just always foul. I'm glad I didn't do that, and I'm glad I gave up smoking years ago. I haven't smoked a cigarette in 25 years. It's gross. It's fucking such a bad habit. Yeah, I miss sugar. I don't know. It's all right. I'd rather do this than have to take some kind of medication. You know what? Oh, I could keep eating sugar and become diabetic, and then I could give myself injections. No, no thanks. That sounds horrible. Snuff, gross. You love cigs, you gotta quit. My dog has vitiligo, is that what you said? Or vertigo, I can't say. I know somebody that has vitiligo. Show us Sam. Sam's upstairs. I'm getting a big cord for this thing, 32 feet, and I'll be able to walk around. I'm doing it for you all. Absolutely, I'm doing it for you all. I love you all. You all are fucking great. I do. How's the baby pigeon? There's no baby pigeon in this house. Everybody's grown. Solar Tim, my kid, is hanging around with his sister and his wife. They're in the pantry. I don't want him to lay another egg. I'll tell you that. I hope that she gets out of eggs soon. I don't want to have an incest baby in the house. We don't need that. It's okay if they do it. We just don't want any offspring. You know, brother and sister, it's fine, but don't get pregnant. Anybody know the state with the highest incest rate? Anybody got an answer? I do. It'll surprise you. I don't know if it's everybody says Alabama, Nevada. I'm gonna say I think it might be Alaska or Florida. Alaska might be it. Let's check. This is important. State with highest incest rate. Let's see, what do we got? Alabama! You all were right. Wow. It's good to know. Alabama. It's pretty redneck down there. No kidding. Let's see what it has to say. Here. We don't have a clear idea of what oh, it's not that important. There's probably nobody on here from Alabama. Maybe. Bear's mom is from Alabama. She's like a liberal woman too. She's a liberal female. She's from Alabama, and she thinks the administration's horrible, and she's right. She's 100% correct. It's horrible. I won't talk about that because politics. I don't want to frighten anybody off, and I love everybody. So I won't bring it up. And besides, the impeachment has started officially, and I predicted this. It's been years. I said this was going to happen. And there's an indictment coming, I guarantee you. And think orange jumpsuit. I've seen the same. Is it really going to happen? Yes. How much for me to shave? $500. Give me $500, I'll shave. Not the head, the face. No problem. 500. I might even do it a little bit cheaper. I'll shave, all right. I'll take this thing right off. Whatever you want. That's why I'm here. I'm here to, what I'm like a it's the dog and pony show. Whatever you want, I'll do it. No, I'm not gonna do it. $1,000 to shave I could never prove it, and you would never give me $1,000. So that would not. I mean, I would do it. Who cares? Yeah, give me $1,000. But I mean, I could never Okay, I'm doing it. No, and I wouldn't do it on another platform either. So don't. I'm not doing that. That's sick. That's sick that you're thinking about the. Let's get that old guy to shave his pubes. Let's get some money together. What is the matter with you, dude? Oh my God. Shirt off? No, I'm not doing that. Hairy men are hot. Keep it. Well, I'm not hairy. I do not have back and chest hair. Nope. Nope. How much acid have I done? It was years ago as a kid. I don't know. Not that many. Seriously, not that many. I mean, I knew people that did it all the time. I knew one dude in art school that was doing it, and he sort of seemed normal, but then he did a lot of acid, and then he never was quite right. I think nobody needs to do that. To be perfectly honest, it's not so great. It's not so great. It's better to be sober. It's better to do nothing. That's the truth. It's better to do nothing. Shave the goatee. Mushrooms, yeah, sure, but same thing. Like, I do understand that they are sort of prescribing mushrooms for people with fear of death, which I have. I have that, but I mean, I did those years ago. I don't really want to do them. And I definitely have the fear of death. I think about it constantly. All I do is like walk around thinking of my mortality. How's it going to be when I'm dying in bed with my diaper on? You know, Alzheimer would be a bummer. It would be a bummer. I don't know. I'll be driving down the road, and like today, man, I was driving down the road thinking, somebody could just like run me off the road. And, I don't know. You're gonna go. You're gonna go. It's just like God. You guys might be coming here tomorrow to see if I'm live streaming, but something fell out of the sky on me. We just don't know when we're gonna go. So fucking, it's a bummer. Okay, it's a flat out bummer. We put up with this shit because we don't have a choice. It's a fucking bummer. It seems like a sort of like a rude experiment, something like that. Like it's like, I don't know. Yeah, I'm telling you, Elon Musk. I go back to that thought a lot of are we just a really complicated program? I don't know. Maybe. It makes sense to me. It does. It makes sense to me. And then it also makes sense. The UFOs, even the Navy, the stuff that the Navy videoed, all those, the shit I saw. It's like a glitch in the system. It's like a it's a glitch in the program. I don't know. I don't know. Once you stayed up for 2 weeks because of anxiety, that's impossible. You should have gone to the doctor. Go to the doctor. Peter, have you ever been to Oregon? No, I never have. But I would go to Oregon if I was falling apart because doctors will snuff you for 10 grand or something. I actually had a panic attack yesterday about dying. That's what it is. It's like the panic attack. It's about death. Those suck. I've had that before. I haven't had them lately. Drop caffeine. If you're doing caffeine, don't do those. Any type of anxiety is just heightened by stimulants. So panic attacks, or that's like it's an anxiety. Don't do caffeine. Don't do caffeine, and don't do anything. Just drink water. But panic attacks suck. It's like you're thinking of oh, I'm gonna die. I remember I had one last year it was about the time when I was sick because I didn't know that I was sick, but I thought I had a hernia, but I didn't. I had diverticulitis, which is a inflammation in the diverticuli, and I didn't know what it was. So I had a fever and I didn't feel good, and I was yanking up stuff from the basement to throw away, and it was wet drywall, like it was drywall that was real moist, so it was real heavy, and I had it in contractor bags, and I took a bunch of them up at once, and it was, my hip was hurting, so I was sort of doing it one-legged too, so I was overcompensating, and then I was like right on my neck, like it was laying on the muscle, so it strained the muscle, and then I came up with like the last bag or something, and I had like this strain or something in my shoulder that went up real quick. It was like this like pain going up my neck, and I thought to myself, oh my God, I'm having a stroke. That's when the panic attack started, and my heart started beating real fast, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm having a heart attack too. I'm having a heart attack. My heart's beating like it's beating out of my chest. And I was here. I wasn't in Brooklyn. I was at this house. I was right here in that other room. And I thought I was going to pass out. So what I did was, my decision was, get outside, because if you're having a heart attack, you're going to fall down here. Somebody might see you outside. Not that this is a heavily populated area, but I'm like, maybe one of my neighbors will see me or something lying either on the sidewalk, or maybe I can make it to the road. So I get out there and I get about 15 feet away from the door, 20 feet away from the door, and I breathed in like that, and it stopped. It's like I caught my breath and my heart stopped beating. But man, it was just like, God, I hate those. I haven't had one since I dropped caffeine. It's not good. I actually went to the doctor, and I mentioned that, and she prescribed some shit. I didn't take it because I'm like, I've taken that stuff before when I'm younger. I don't want to take it. I don't want to take an SSRI. I was just like, it's anxiety. It's an anxiety thing. But I don't, I feel fine. I feel good, and I haven't had the panic attack. I don't want to take that shit. But I'm not telling anybody else not to. Like, if you're having issues, whatever your doctor prescribed, listen to your doctor. That is the person to listen to. What's a book you started but never finished? I don't know if there is one. I can't think of anything. What I was thinking was that somebody asked me like about movies. Black Hawk Down is really a great movie. That is a great movie, seriously. Caffeine bed drug? What? Yeah, it's better to sort of just not do anything sometimes, but you have to like not do anything, meaning you can't do caffeine. So like doing a lot of stuff, there's this like that rebound effect of like all the medications they prescribe. But I mean, there's medication that really helped out a lot of people. You know, we don't have mental hospitals full of people anymore for a reason. It's the truth. Like that's those SSRIs when that Prozac was invented. Like that was a game changer for a lot of mental illness, anxiety and depression. I mean, I don't know. Medical science is weird. I'm glad it exists. But yeah, it is. It's all a business. I mean, those pharmaceutical companies, sure. It's all, look at the veterinary community. It's all tied into that too. It's like, you know, what are you going to do? Peter, have you ever been in a bad fight? Have you ever been in a bad fight? What do you mean, like physical fight? I never got beat up. I'm no. With a girlfriend, yeah. Yeah, fuck yeah. But not violent, but like, yeah, those kind of fights. Is that what you're talking about? Like, you suck, I'm leaving, I can't stand this person, and then you leave them for a little bit, and then you want to sleep with them again real bad. Yes, I've been in those. That sucks, but it's sort of good at the same time. No, I've never beat up my girlfriend. I didn't say that. Clearly, I did not say that. Okay. Okay, there we go. Okay, we'll say goodbye to you because you're just stupid. There you go. Bye. I'm not putting up with that. I didn't say that. Did I say that? I've never done anything like that. It's nonsense. Right? Just get rid of people like that. It's just like, just, what are you, 3 years old? See if I can ban someone else. See if I can find someone. Yeah, you have to break up to make up. That's right. Then you get the good loving. I love you. I hate you. I love you. I hate you. I love you. I hate you. What is this YouTube channel and why should you subscribe? Don't. Thank you, Magic Kool-Aid. Tell us about Morty Gallagher. Who? Who's Morty Gallagher? I don't know who that is. But thank you. I don't know who Morty Gallagher is. Have you ever been to Lake George, New York? No, I have not. Nope. I've never been there. I don't really want to go either. I can't really think of a reason to go. Why would I want to do that? What's in Lake George? Is that like skiing or something? No, that's Morty Lucas, the one-eyed alligator. He's an awesome man. He was. Foul mouth. He would cuss a lot. Every other word. He was a character. He was. We go dove hunting with Morty. Oh, so Morty would have like a knife on his belt. And what knife he always had with him was a Rapala like fillet knife. I was always amazed that was the knife that, you know, Morty would have. Like my dad had pocket knives. Like he'd have like, I probably have one of them on me. No, I don't, but he'd have like he'd like little tiny buck knives, pocket knives. He had a knife collection. Morty Lucas, that's right. Peter, can you give me some advice on the ladies? Treat them like dirt, dude. No, I'm just joking. Be nice to them. Call them a whole lot. No, don't do that. Don't call them a whole lot. Be nice to them, but don't be too nice. Don't be like give them some space. Make them wonder where you are. Make them wonder if you're hanging around with another girl. That'll do it. Was that helpful? Don't treat them like dirt. Treat them good, but don't treat them too good. And do that. Like maybe like just leave some things in the car that don't make sense. Make her jealous. Go buy some bobby pins or something. Just leave them laying around. Go to the drugstore, buy some cheap perfume. Spray it in your car. Take your old lady for a drive later. Just something small, like a little like one of those little clips for women's hair. Smaller the better. You could even go buy some cheap ring, leave it in your car. When she asks about it, you're like, I don't know. Oh, I let Steve borrow my car. That must be right. Be prepared. Have the story ready to go. Steve, blame it on Steve, your friend Steve. Steve doesn't have to exist, and she doesn't ever have to meet Steve. You could talk about like, yeah, we should hang out with Steve or something. I want you to meet him, but then Steve doesn't exist. Steve is your best friend because he's gonna help you a lot because Steve has a lot of girlfriends. Drive your lady crazy. It will. It'll drive your lady crazy. She'll be super jealous. She'll have hot. It'll be hot. Was that helpful? I'm sure that was helpful. I have other ideas. I mean, you could play that game all day. You know, the like jealousy thing. You could just so say if she's a live-in girlfriend and she's suspicious, you could really heighten those suspicions by doing things like, say, you write a number on a piece of paper. Ask a friend of yours that's female, that she's just friends, you're not doing her, to write a number like it looks like a phone number, but then take the last number off. So, and then write something like KA, and then that's sort of ripped off too. Something like that, so that she can't, but it'll be enough to make her suspicious. She'll be jealous. Keep her jealous, dude. Seriously. Don't treat her too good. But treat her good. Treat her good. Buy her things. Buy her lots of things. As much as you can afford. Do you love her? Then buy her stuff. Buy her anything she wants. She might want a car. If she's hot, buy her a sports car. Don't buy an expensive sports car. It's the thought that counts. So like you look on Craigslist or Facebook Marketplace, you save up like $2,500 or something. Right? You buy this woman that you've just made insanely jealous. You know, she's hounding you. She's suspicious, and then you go on Facebook Marketplace and you buy her like a green MG convertible, like a 72 or something. You drive it over there and give it to her. I love you, baby. Don't be jealous. I love you. You'll have the upper hand. Things will be going good for you. Is that helpful? You didn't super chat me any money. I give you all that. It's cool. Don't worry about it. What happened to the watermelon baby? FB Marketplace. Yeah. Yeah, I used to go on it. I don't go on Facebook anymore. Facebook's for old people. I don't do that. I don't. I gave it up. I don't want to be a part of that. Those old people, they're terrible. You ever go in an old person's house? It smells of death. We start rotting from the inside out, and that's not my house yet. So it's everybody's house at some point. It will be. It's not good. The smell of dirty diapers and baby powder, that's the worst. Have you ever had this happen? You're like going in, it's usually in a pharmacy. It's the truth. You go in Rite Aid or something. You know, the old person ahead of you. They're walking in front of you. It could be man or woman. Usually it seems like it happens that it's like an old lady for me. But like she's ahead of me and I'm trying to, I want her to speed up. I can't speed up the old lady. But I'm close enough because I'm in a hurry that I get some of her draft coming off of her. And it's like a combination old lady perfume, dirty diapers, and like baby powder. It's horrible. $1.99 from JP. What's up? What's up, JP? What's up? Bro. The problem is my manhood is small. Oh, don't worry about that. Chicks love that. They love it. Don't be thinking anything different. They love that. They do. They all do. They're like, oh, look at that. You're so tiny. I love that. They'll love it. Don't worry about it. It's your problem. JP, it's in your mind. It's in your mind. Don't worry about it. So really, you're worried about that? Sorry, JP, I don't have that problem, so I can't give you really any good advice about that. There's nothing you can do. You're born that way. I'm so sorry. You give me $2 and if you $1.99, don't lie to JP. All right, let me help you out, JP. You could they're gonna find out sooner or later. They're gonna find out, but you could use a prosthetic device like a potato, rolled up socks. You've seen Spinal Tap, haven't you? That cucumber. Same thing. It's the same idea. If you're walking around like that women will think you're a rod. Look at that. Look at that package that guy has. It won't matter because listen, once you're in the throes of passion, they're not gonna like burst out laughing. Is it that small, JP? Tell us how big. Just in centimeters or something. No, in inch. 1 inch? Did you get an inch? You don't have to tell us. I know you're embarrassed. I don't want to put you in this position. It's really not a problem. Everybody's born a certain way. It's only 5. Oh fuck, dude, you're a monster. Now I feel bad. Shit, really? Fuck. You're hung like a donkey compared to me. Fucking JP. You and your problems. JP, I'm so sorry. Oh, look, it's Wendy Teeter, of course. Wendy with the $10. Wendy, I love you. Wendy is an adorable picture. If I would have gone to high school with her, I'm sure I would have asked her out. Look at her. How adorable. Looks like she has like a retro sort of haircut, like from, right? Sort of like that 70s show. Wendy, is that what we got going there? Looks nice. Looks nice. You use a blow dryer. You brush it. Is that what you do? I don't do anything. I don't own a brush or a comb. You're a chick though. I bet you have that and soap. You like soap? Wendy, you're awesome. You are, and you look adorable. You look adorable. You have a sense of fashion. You have a fashion sense. That is really awesome. I should, I gotta, excuse me for a second. Excuse me. Ow! Oh, look at that. Everybody's still here. What a wonderful night it's been. Wendy Teeter's here. You see, like Wendy Teeter, like that name, like that could be like a real person. I bet Wendy Teeter's real. A lot of you all, I have no idea who you are, and most of you are fake. Sort of like you're fake people. Like, come on, nobody has a name except for MK Ultra Magic Kool-Aid. That's a real person. That's a woman that is extremely generous, like more generous than Wendy Teeter. Extra crispy kernel. I'm real. Yeah, I guess you're real. Sure. I'm a Russian bot. Um, uh, I don't know. What time is it? Fuck, it's 1 o'clock. God damn. I don't want to go. I don't want to go to sleep. I don't want to leave. Oh shit. I don't want to leave my my people here though. I don't. I don't want to leave you all. I don't know where you all are. Some of you all are in Europe, I think. Some of you are in Europe. Pete, stop smoking, leave. I don't do that. I gotta go make money for my honey. What do you do for a living? Will you tell us? Ultra Magic Kool-Aid. Nobody knows who you are. What do you do for a living? Tell us. You're not gonna tell us? Come on, man. Come on, we love you. You're the best. All right, well, if she's leaving, I'm leaving. I'm going to sleep. I am. I'm going to sleep. She won't tell us what she does. I don't know what any of you all do. You work. Come on, you work at Lowe's. Then why are you blowing money here? I don't think you work at Lowe's. You don't work at Lowe's. Come on. You might be somebody I know. Maybe not. What's behind me? Remy? What's my opinion on Joe? I don't know. Wendy Teeter's a nurse. I love nurses. That old-timey outfit, or anything. The new outfit too, like just the scrubs. Everybody loves a nurse. I can't believe Magic Kool-Aid left without telling us what she did. At least Wendy Teeter told us that she was a nurse. You know, that's a good job. Sexy nurse costumes. You know, that whole costume thing, I'm not like, but I mean, certainly. I'll look, but I don't know. I don't get it. You work at Apple, do you? You're a gynecologist? No, you're not. Come on. Really? You're a gynecologist? You're fucking loaded. How come you don't super chat me? $500 or something? No, I'm kidding. I don't want to e-bag anymore. You work in the ER? I'm a software developer. JP is a software developer. Thank you, JP. No shit. But it's a lot of software. You're a manager of what? Community health. I have a good job, executive. Well, you throwing money around, I guess you do. Oh, you could work at Lowe's as an executive. Oh, I got you. Okay. Sure. Right. I get it. Okay. Okay. So you do work at Lowe's. It's a big company. I don't know if I could do the corporate job. God, that'd be tough. I remember one time when I first moved to New York, I was working for like a temp company. I had to work in an office for 2 days. It sucked. I'm not yawning. Peter Caine merch. Yeah. I'm gonna put out some shirts, some Frogman shirts. They'll be ready tomorrow. But I mean, I have so much merch anyway. This could be on a shirt. This might be on a shirt tomorrow. I don't know. Could be. I think it will be. Yep. It's going on a shirt. Will you ever do paintings live? Probably not. You got to go to bed too. Yeah, I'm going to bed too. I'm tired. I had a great evening though. I did. Thank you. Thanks everybody. I'll see y'all. I will. I'll see y'all. I love you. I love you all. Good night. Good night, Lowe's executive. Ultra Magic Kool-Aid. Goodbye. I love everybody here. I do. Lots of live streaming tomorrow. Seriously. I'll see y'all. No, seriously, I'll see you. Bye.